So, before 9/11, a few days before, sometime before, I remember walking down the street and I just rounded the corner. I was about to come home. This is back in the days when I was a student. And I was doing what I always do, which is taking all the surroundings, marvel at the beauty of the play of light on the wall, the roses, the flowers, the sky. And there was this moment where all of everything kind of freeze framed. It was like there was a stutter in reality. It was almost impossible to describe visually, but something happened. And in that moment, this freeze frame and this kind of stutter, like there was a jump from one still frame to the next still frame. And somehow that jump had happened seamlessly, but there had been something happen. All of reality had frozen. And in that moment, a knowing arrived, a knowing landed. And that knowing was simply that everything has changed. In a moment outside space and time, everything has changed. And I found myself consciously wondering, I wonder what's going to happen. I wonder what this is. And the other day, I had the same thing again. We were in the car, we were driving back from a beautiful day at the beach, and we'd been discussing all kinds of amazing topics, everything from awakenings to levitations to the amazing experiences my friend and I had been having in our adventures into the mysteries, into the heart of being, and we'd had this really beautiful day and we were driving home and it happened again. There was this sudden reverberation, a real deep vibration. And I just, something's coming. It didn't feel comfortable and it didn't feel great. It felt like dissonance. And again, there was this sense of that was as big as the reality stutter that happened before 9/11. Oh, something's coming. And of course, my mind went to, it's got to be bad, it can't be good, oh my God, what is it? Well, not oh my God, I don't do that a lot, but what is it? And as I fell into it a little bit and noticed the temptation there wasn't actually really much of a temptation to get an answer. I don't really want to know what the event is, what the world event is. I was feeling into the nature of why, of the repercussions. And firstly, there was just a sense of an event that was so big that the shock waves of this, not shock waves, but the waves of this, the vibratory waves of this were expanding out in all directions, including, into the past of itself in linear time. They're expanding out in all directions, and I've been able to feel this ahead of time, feel something coming. And it was big, and it just felt like it was coming from Gaia. It felt like it was coming from Gaia, and it didn't feel bad. It didn't feel like... It felt beautiful, it felt good. It felt uncomfortable. It felt like there were not comfortable elements to it in a very worldly sense, but the purpose of it, the cause of it, the purpose of it, the consequences of it felt beautiful, needed. And the sense I have is that she's calling us home to ourselves, and that every wave of something happening calls us home to the real, calls us home to the now, home to ourselves and home to beingness, home to that truth, that core truth, when everything you think you know and you've created with a mind is stripped away. What is the truth in the heart that's left? And it feels like there's been this calling home, quite graceful, calling home to that, if you consider that usually calling ourselves home to that moment can involve brutal, catastrophic, violent, destructive, disruptive, dissonant, collapse kind of situations. And I'm not saying what we've been through has not been brutal in many ways, but it has been more graceful than we might normally co-creatively, collectively manifest. But there was a sense that whatever you try and do, whatever we try, when we try and get back on that hamster wheel and recreate a world in which control features and our games feature and manipulation features, and we're still playing that game of false leadership, false sovereignty, false tyranny, that something is going to be another wave to call us home, and it feels like something's coming. Dear one, indeed, there is a world event of major proportions lined up for humanity to experience in answer to humanity's own request for guidance and assistance in coming home to oneness awareness and being in alignment with Gaia's transition, with the ascension program, you might say. There is a need to recall you all from the games, from the creations in which you have become ensnared. So great has been this sense of vulnerability to these creations, vulnerability to the situation, vulnerability to the leaders you have created for yourselves, placed your authority outside of yourselves. So great has been this ensnarement that the request from the collective consciousness of humanity has agreed to, has asked for, and agreed to major events, major wave events, or we could say simply major waves that support a homecoming in consciousness, a release en masse, collectively, all together, where it's possible to, shall we say, like a sneeze, release yourselves from the rules of reality that you have made for yourselves. Gaia is ascending, and you are ascending within her, as one with her, as part of her. And while the collective consciousness of humanity is aware of its interconnectedness, it is also aware of the gap in realization of this interconnectedness, the gap in actions leading to manifestations, and the behavior necessary to sustain the systems, the world systems that support the bodies you are in their stability. This behavior that is necessary to support these systems is actually the opposite in many ways of the behavior required to thrive in the new conditions that are arising in your co-created collective reality, in your conscious awakening of oneness awareness. The behaviors that support you in maintaining stability in your world systems now are those very behaviors that support you maintaining a sense of disconnectedness, a state of separation, awareness, regarding yourselves as isolated units, one from the other, one within each other, within yourselves, one from all that is and one within the planet, isolated from everything. These conditions no longer abide. There is. Within each of you, in right timing, the ability to open, allow, open doorways for the emergence of an inversion in your current behaviors. But you could not do this unless you were detached from your reality by forces that appear to be external. Nothing is in fact external, but you are experiencing everything outside of your bodies as external to yourselves. And this realization is also going to be shaken. There will be wave after wave events, wave happenings to call you home to yourselves. And while each of you look for reasons outside of yourselves for why these things are happening to you, what you are able to do is work through all your stories of having given away your sovereignty as master co-creators within the planet. This is the purpose of conspiracy theories as they are so named. We do not like this name, for it is not honest. They are simply a signpost to both the illusion and the created actuality of power and autonomy that should lie within your sovereignty that has been given away to external forces, areas within yourselves where you're experiencing a victimhood. We would not wish to dismiss all of these experiences as illusory, rather to point to the fact that what you believe, you manifest as real for your own experience. In truth, there is no one cause of what is happening to you all, rather a collective experience of homecoming. World War III is the world war where war itself becomes an inversion of all it's ever been. No longer one fighting against the other, but a doorway to resolution of sovereignty, which facilitates the transcending of the need to fight anything, for it brings with it the realization that everything is one. You are one with everything. Therefore, you cannot fight something that is not yourself. And the grounds for all your victories, we do not like this word, accomplishments, achievements, reclamations, lies within yourself. Power is not to be reclaimed forcibly from those who have taken it away from you, but to be realized as your sovereign domain. And the self is the site for the realization of sovereignty. Gaia holds you all within her embrace. You are held within grace. And you would do well to call for more. For in these times there is no getting back to normal. Everything is going to continue to be different, a very different kind of normal, a normal that will not settle. There won't be one normal normality for a while for you all. Take heart. You are supported in this. You have chosen this, and you are fully equipped, each of you, for the experiences which will come your way. You are held, holding the resonance that supports harmonious transitioning for all. Call, dear ones, for more support. Call for grace, call for help, and call for alignment. For the more efficiently you access your inner autonomy, sovereignty, awareness, the more beautifully you claim the grace of your sovereignty for yourselves. And the point at which you do that in any one nano story of your existence is the point at which the manifestation of duality and dissonance dissolves. Dear ones, the path is before you, and you are on the move in the direction of travel you have requested. We hold you, we hear, and we come to assist you. We feel you and all the vibrations that take place within your planet and within your collective consciousness, but specifically within your planet. You are returning yourselves to a state of harmonic resonance within the fields of consciousness in which you reside as co-creators within all that is. These are the steps that will lead you there. We love you, we respect you enormously, and we are one with you. Call, loves. Call now for help and assistance, for grace and alignment. And you shall receive more than you could conceive possible. Thank you. We love you. We bless you. And we are here, right by your side. We are the Liran Alliance from Sirius, ever present during these times. You can think of us as the lion beings, for that is how we often appear and what we most appear like. We take great interest and play our part in this unfolding.